Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Monday, November 15th, at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 643 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. After deal of a lifetime, Colton Phillips gets 180 days in jail for violating probation. Will Smith says he and director Michael Bay had one of our biggest disputes over whether or not the actor should be shirtless in Bad Boys. Neighbors react to death of 8-year-old from accidental shooting. Wyoming GOP votes to stop recognizing Cheney as a Republican. Johnny Depp trial, Doherty, Hennon found guilty on multiple corruption counts in federal trial. Top Senate GOP negotiator credits Trump for advancing infrastructure, who repeatedly sunk it and threatened to primary Republicans who backed it. Detroit dealers react to GM taking away heated seats and steering wheels. 5 teenagers hospitalized after shooting near Colorado high school. U.S. accuses Iran of unsafe helo maneuver near U.S. Navy ship. A bride who uses a wheelchair surprised her groom by walking down the aisle at their wedding. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. 16 shot at park in Aurora, police say, The New York Times. Ohio sues Meta alleging Facebook parent misled public about its product's effect on children, The Wall Street Journal. White House defends Harris as key partner to Biden amid reports of dysfunction, CNN. Biden signs $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, fulfilling campaign promise and notching achievement that eluded Trump, The Washington Post. Adele tells Oprah about her weight loss and divorce, BBC News. After loss to Packers loss, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll shares gripes on officiating, USA Today. U.S. anger at Russian anti-satellite missile test debris, BBC News. Mel Gibson to direct Lethal Weapon 5 feet, Variety. Ahmaud Arbery trial, defense lawyer asks judge to eject Reverend Jesse Jackson from courtroom, Fox News. Explainer, why did judge drop Rittenhouse gun charge, Associated Press. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. The funniest marriage tweets to get you through this week. Lil Nas X, I feel bad for DaBaby after his homophobia controversy. Austria imposes lockdown for unvaccinated residents amid COVID-19 surge. Film and TV workers narrowly ratify union contracts to end strike threat. Exclamation point, Joe Biden signs infrastructure bill into law. SoulCycle's exercise bike is actually on sale, and it's $600 off. NYC panel votes to remove Thomas Jefferson statue from City Hall. Russian anti-satellite weapon test may have littered space with dangerous debris. Oprah pretending to know Adele lyrics and singing anyway is our favorite thing. Maria Bartiromo screamed at William Barr on the phone over Biden's win, book. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Missing dog returned safely after police nab burglar. One person airlifted to hospital after plane crash. Man charged with selling meth arrested again. Man's body found after being released from jail. Woman charged for allegedly beating son to death. Theater works to break down barriers. Man to spend months living on shipping containers. Video, driver reverses into fitness studio. Millions follow dumpster diving mama making a living from trash. Church receives grants for organ facilities study. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Beto O'Rourke announces run for Texas governor, testing Democrats' strength. Reliance on empowered IRS to pay for social policy bill hits snag. Biden and Xi to meet in virtual summit amid U.S.-China tensions. Biden signs long-awaited $1 trillion infrastructure bill. These women found creative ways to overcome the barriers in front of them. As Cuba crushes dissent, a nationwide protest fizzles. 16 shot at park in Aurora, police say. College student charged in arson at Texas synagogue. Alex Jones liable in Sandy Hook defamation suits. Europe adopts new sanctions against Belarus. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Monday, November 15th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Passenger planes remain mothballed in boneyards despite burgeoning demand for air travel. I'm a Celebrity 2021 lineup confirmed. Richard Littlejohn, why are we giving a friend of the earth a small fortune to slag us all off? 4 policemen finally jailed for killing British aristocrat in Kenyan cell. Liverpool bombing, cabbie is seen with his head in his hands. Thousands of patients could be at risk amid backlog of life-saving heart scans. Paris Hilton husband Carter Reum has love child with reality star Laura Bellizzi. Michael Vaughan's sponsors start to distance themselves from former England captain. Fishermen drink own urine to survive after boat sinks in crocodile-infested river in Australia. Patel cancels trip to Paris for talks over Channel crisis to be briefed on Liverpool bombing. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Women to sue Qatar for invasive airport body searches, a case highlighting rights concerns ahead of 2022 World Cup. Belarus is the latest country to use migrants as pawns. The West is guilty, too. Despite COP26 rhetoric, China's coal production is hitting all-time highs. British police declare taxi explosion outside Liverpool hospital terrorist incident. Delhi considers new lockdown, this time for pollution, not COVID. American journalist Danny Fenster released from Myanmar jail despite 11-year sentence. U.S. journalist jailed in Myanmar for nearly 6 months is freed. UN condemns attempt to discredit Iraq's recent election. Cuban security forces throttle planned nationwide protest. In Hong Kong's striking new museum, art is not above the law. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Joe Biden signs $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill into law, live. COVID Hive news, Belgium to accelerate plan for tighter measures, concern over rising Irish cases. Kiribati to open one of world's largest marine protected areas to commercial fishing. Canada, floods prompt evacuations in region hit by summer wildfires. Italy go into World Cup playoffs after Northern Ireland draw as Swiss qualify. Succession recap, Series 3, Episode 5, Catastrophe strikes as Logan loses his grip. England confirm World Cup 2022 spot with 10-goal demolition of San Marino. Ahmaud Arbery killing, judge rejects mistrial requests as Jesse Jackson attends. NATO chief warns Russia against further provocation amid Ukraine tensions. Argentina's far-right and far-left make big gains in congressional elections. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Florida GOP moves to combat vaccine mandates, virus rules. U.S. journalist freed from Myanmar jail with ex-diplomat's aid. Details emerge in case against mom of teen who went missing. Voluntary recall issued for LS youth helmets due to risk of head injury. 6 teens hospitalized after shooting at park in Aurora, Colorado. Democrat Beto O'Rourke running for Texas governor in 2022. U.S. condemns Russian anti-satellite test it says created dangerous debris field. Heavy northwest rains bring flooding, evacuations, school closures. DeSantis proposes $25 restoration of Miami's Ellis Island. John Deere reaches third tentative deal with workers as strike hits 1 month. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. U.S. anger at Russian anti-satellite missile test debris. Kyle Rittenhouse, weapons charge against accused U.S. teen dropped. Poland border crisis, EU to widen Belarus sanctions as row intensifies. Steve Bannon surrenders to face contempt charges. Sandy Hook, Alex Jones liable in defamation lawsuit. Belarus crisis, the locals helping families in Poland's no-go area. Ecuador prison and armed forces chiefs resign after riots. Alexander Monson, Kenyan policeman jailed over UK aristocrat's death. Danny Fenster, U.S. journalist freed from Myanmar jail. Tamara Ecclestone burglary, Italian gang jailed for 26M celebrity raids. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Kyle Rittenhouse closing arguments, prosecutors call him wannabe soldier, defense says he was attacked by mob. Seattle fire chief who was missing for nearly 2 weeks found dead in mountain area. Biden signs $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. AP top stories November 15 p. Russia space junk threatening space station. Bannon appears in court on contempt charges. Defense attorney fails to get Reverend Jesse Jackson removed from courtroom in Ahmaud Arbery death trial. Invasive pythons slither north in Florida Everglades, may mean snake population is expanding. Migrants move toward Polish border. Tense exchanges defense attempts to remove Reverend Jesse Jackson from Arbery murder trial. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Recall effort against Councilman Kevin Belen is withdrawn. Getting takeout? You have to ask for plastic utensils and napkins in LA now. Gimme shelter, why modern freeway construction is still taking homes in Black and Latino areas. Way better than a parking lot, Smart 3 use revives Julia Morgan's Herald Examiner building. California gas prices soar to record highs. LA officials warn that COVID vaccine protections wane as holidays approach. Rare Sierra Nevada red foxes survive massive Dixie fire that burned Habitat. Column, Trump's cap on tax deductions hurt Californians, it's time to stop the bleeding. Wheelchair users can face hefty costs not covered by insurance. When will we get out? Parents plead with California Sun to help them flee Afghanistan. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Monday, November 15, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. U.S. admits it killed multiple civilians in Syria airstrikes days before the fall of ISIS in 2019. Afghans say the Taliban is too busy policing women to prevent a humanitarian disaster that could leave half the country hungry this winter. Vancouver, BC is now completely cut off from the rest of Canada due to historic rainfall, washouts and landslides. Canada, first nation exposed to high levels of cancer-causing chemicals. U.S. investigating debris event in space amid reports of Russia anti-satellite weapon test space. Macron tells Putin France ready to defend Ukraine's territorial integrity. U.S. concerned that a Russian anti-satellite weapons test created a debris field in space, CNN. China coronavirus, apology after officials beat pet dog to death with iron bar after breaking into home of woman in quarantine while she watched on CCTV. India gets its first openly gay high court judge. Toronto is exploring the idea of giving homeless shelter residents 1 year of free rent. Poland, Lithuania and Latvia consider triggering NATO's Article 4 over the Belarus border crisis. Astronauts forced to take shelter as debris cloud threatens space station. Sweden prosecuting oil executives for complicity in war crimes, the first time since Nuremberg. Wet wipes could be banned in bid to clean up UK waterways and stop toxic tide of plastic waste. Stop talking, start acting, says Africa's first extreme heat official. The next headlines are from Forbes. Ahead of Warriors Nets showdown, Steve Kerr calls Steph Curry, Kevin Durant MVP favorites. Republicans introduce bill to decriminalize marijuana amid stalled proposals. Rivian now world's number 3 car maker by value as post-IPO stock surge rolls on. Elon Musk's trollish tweet to Bernie Sanders provokes backlash, even from Elon Musk fans. Bitcoin exclusive commercial real estate offer in New York listed for $29 million. Almost 10 million viewers tuned into Adele's TV special. On the edge of retail transformation. Biden signs $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, here's everything it will pay for. NHL postpones games due to COVID outbreak, in first for North American sports this fall. Debris from Russian satellite forces astronauts aboard International Space Station to take shelter. The next headlines are from Nature.com. More Alzheimer's drugs head for FDA review, what scientists are watching. COP26, meet the scientists behind the crucial climate summit. Friction, from fingerprints to climate change. How to turn your ideas into patents. The greener route to indigo blue. COP26 hasn't solved the problem. Scientists react to UN climate deal. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,744,831,492 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Music industry moves, Bravado names Matt Young president. Braun names Josh Miller as senior vice president of non-scripted film and TV exclusive. IAT's contract ratification decided by razor-thin vote margins in 2 guilds. Britney Spears is on cloud 9 after first weekend of freedom. BMI Country Awards named Jessie Frazier Songwriter of the Year, one of them girls' top song. Mel Gibson to direct Lethal Weapon 5. UFC, representation, touring and content production drive solid Q3 results for Endeavor. Downton Abbey sequel trailer teases an adventure in the south of France. Kavya Gerber to star as Daisy in The Great Gatsby table read for AMFAR benefit exclusive. Brian Grazer talks imagines big weekend after Tick, Tick, Boom, Julia, Paper and Glue hit theaters. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Warehouses are overwhelmed by America's shopping spree. Harvard's 148-year-old student newspaper gets its first Latinas president. Alex Jones found liable for defamation in Sandy Hook hoax case. Austria and Germany impose restrictions on unvaccinated people as COVID cases surge. Memoir explores how racism and violence impacted 3 girls from Bronzeville. Watch live, closing arguments are underway in the Kyle Rittenhouse homicide trial. Trump's controversial hotel in D.C. will reportedly be sold and renamed. Steve Bannon has turned himself in on criminal contempt charges. Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy won't seek re-election next year. UK police have declared Sunday's Liverpool car blast a terrorist act. The following headlines are from the week. Kamala Harris is almost skipped, and 5 other notable moments from today's infrastructure bill signing. Biden signs bipartisan infrastructure bill into law, America is moving again. The infrastructure bill is losing support, primarily among Republicans. Britney Spears gets my first glass of champagne after being freed from conservatorship. The role social media is playing in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The reason Kamala Harris is having a lousy vice presidency, it's a lousy job. Alex Jones found liable in Sandy Hook defamation lawsuits. One of America's oldest senators is retiring, let's hope he's not the last. Indicted Trump ally Steve Bannon has turned himself into authorities. Patrick Leahy, longest-serving senator, announces retirement, it's time to come home. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Beto wants to make Texas big again. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomy Jargon 101, Electromagnetism. Our complete guide to November's almost total lunar eclipse. A black hole has been found lurking just outside the Milky Way. Astronomy Jargon 101, Weak Force. Astronomy Jargon 101, Strong Nuclear Force. Astronomy Jargon 101, Baryon Acoustic Oscillations. Not saying it was aliens, but Oumuamua probably wasn't a nitrogen iceberg. These are the news headlines for today, Monday, November 15th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the 3rd most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Astronauts shelter from debris, Kessler syndrome coming to life. Surtsey, volcanic island, emerged in 1963. Pleiades, or Seven Sisters, shine in November. The next news is from Politico. Trust deficit stalls vaccinations in Eastern Europe, driving new COVID surge. Boris Johnson says COP26 climate deal tinged with disappointment. United Nations first tech envoy departs amid workplace harassment probe. McCarthy called Gaza after posting of violent anti-AOC video. COP26 President Alok Sharma to stay in post for another year. Peter Thiel is coming to Washington. Trump wades into West Virginia member versus member race. Biden finally gets the big effing deal signing ceremony of his own. Pentagon, Oklahoma guard must comply with vaccine mandate. Biden tried to push Putin aside, the Russian isn't having it. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Protesters continue camp out at State Parliament as Victoria records 797 new COVID-19 cases. Australia News Live, proposed Victorian pandemic laws to be changed as state records 797 new COVID-19 cases, 8 deaths. NSW police return to Kendall home where William Tyrrell went missing. Google invests $1 billion in Australia with new research hub. Garden dug up where William Tyrrell went missing, 1 person in police's sights. Best of Cartoons, November 16, 2021. Brisbane puts in formal offer to buy factory for Olympics broadcasting venue. Indigenous communities harness environmental, economic benefits of solar boom. Chink and shield laws will leave QLD journalists partly exposed. Microsoft's latest Surface strikes a better balance than M1 iPad Pro. Wall Street is finally getting access to China. How long will it last? The next headlines are from MarketWatch. MarketWatch, society's very existence could have been threatened. Retired General Stanley McChrystal says the U.S. needs to go to school on pandemics before we're hit again. The Fed's Barkin says he is happy to wait a few more months to gauge reality of inflation. Capital Report, infrastructure law mandates new technology to prevent drunk driving. Here's how it would work. In one chart, recycling is confusing. How to be smarter about all the takeout plastic. Living with climate change, infrastructure law takes on recycling, including what to do with old EV batteries. Washington Watch, here's what's in the bipartisan infrastructure law, and how it's paid for. Deep Dive, 4 stock picks for the post-pandemic nesting economy from a 5-star money manager. The ratings game, Take-Two stock falls more than 5% after Rockstar Games has Grand Theft Auto trouble. The ratings game, CrowdStrike stock drops more than 10% as Morgan Stanley starts coverage with sell rating. Market snapshot, S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite end lower, halting 2 days of wins, while Dow Industrials also finishes down. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Cure Pharmaceutical Holding Corporation, management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations, Form 10-Q, marketscreener.com. Acacia Research Corp management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operation, Form 10-Q, marketscreener.com. The Global Architect Institute, the world's first institute dedicated to spreading the word about simulation theory, iNews. Irreverent and innovative winemaking, WinIndustriAdvisor.com. Paramoy for the holidays, Fox 31 Denver. FreightWaves Classics Pioneers, Elmer Sperry's inventions contributed to all modes of transportation, FreightWaves. Engineering Dean inducted into National Academy of Inventors, Ole Miss News. Intellectual property, key updates for in-house teams, Lixology. A General Introduction to Technology Disputes in Mexico, J.D. Supra. Unholds Business, Tech Exhibition Fair 23rd, November 30th, Vanguard. The next headlines are from Quartz. Tyson Foods, one of the worst places to work, wants to be one of the best. The meaning of the metaverse, and all the terms you need to understand it. Who still thinks inflation is transitory? Fed Chair candidate Lael Brainard is worried more about the climate than inflation. Climate goals on life support. Asynchronous work. Macron secretly changed the French flag's bright blue to navy. Why Shell wants to drop the Royal Dutch. After COP26, climate goals are on life support. Toshiba's best invention is a big reason it's breaking up. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Does copyright give companies the right to search your home and computer? Lawsuit claims a Zoom call was unlawful imprisonment. Brazil's fake news legislation moves forward, gets slightly better and way worse. Daily Deal, Treblab FX100 Extreme Bluetooth Speaker and Treblab X5 True Wireless Earbuds Bundle. Hey North Face, our story about you flipping out over hey F-word face is not trademark infringement. Hacker tricked Robinhood support into revealing data of 5 million users. Funniest most insightful comments of the week at TechDirt. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Marilyn Manson. Kyle Rittenhouse. Steve Bannon. Alex Jones. Eduardo Rodriguez. Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. Patrick Leahy. Julio Lugo. Rivian stock. Beto O'Rourke. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. George Clooney calls Baldwin shooting circumstances insane. Pentagon alarmed at Russian satellite explosion. Tensions mounting between Biden and Harris camps, media. 16 injured in shooting in Aurora, Colorado. I am deeply ashamed of our country. Austria's greatest Olympian quits political role as lockdown for unvaccinated comes in. Police name suspect in Liverpool bombing, carry out controlled explosion. Poland to issue new coin marking defense of eastern border from refugees. Putin tells Macron you should talk directly to Belarus. Cooperation is the only right choice. China could challenge Biden to decline Winter Olympics visit. Who's really to blame for Europe's new migrant crisis? The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. In some parts of America, looting has become a way of life. Trump Organization selling rights to its Washington, D.C. old post office hotel for $375 million. Jerome Powell is finished. U.S. calls Belarus migrant crisis distraction from Ukraine, threatens fresh Russia sanctions. Did COP26's humiliating failure mark the beginning of the end of UN's climate crisis agenda? Even the WSJ admits the market is now betting on a Fed policy error. Paging Isaac Newton, time to buy the top of this bubble. Stocks and bonds dump, dollar pumps as break-even soar. Trans teen pleads no contest to second Loudoun County school assault, to face sentencing in December. CCP accuses U.S. of building trade barricades by not allowing Intel to produce semi-components in China. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Biden signs $1.2 trillion U.S. infrastructure bill into law. Tesla nears bear market territory after prolonged tumble. Canada rains cause city evacuation, shut down major oil pipeline. Could Muammar Gaddafi's son become Libya's president? EU agrees new sanctions on Belarus over border crisis. Space junk disrupts astronauts, forcing them into docked capsules. UN calls for new talks on Yemen's Hodeidah as frontlines shift. Alex Jones found liable for Sandy Hook hoax conspiracy theory. Why isn't British sleaze called what it really is? Son of ex-Panama president extradited to U.S. from Guatemala. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Steady, Build Back Better Act costs $4.91 trillion. Prosecutor Thomas Binger attacks Kyle Rittenhouse for getting choked up while testifying. Texas House Democrat switches to Republican Party, many of us are waking up. Report, Seattle boy watches father die as staffing shortage likely delayed first responders. White House condemns vigilantes as Kyle Rittenhouse trial wraps up. Video, California gas prices soar to record high. Bite inflation, Tyson Foods says it is sharply raising prices. Watch, prosecutor in Rittenhouse case praises rioters, that crowd was full of heroes. Beto O'Rourke's 7 greatest hits, walls do not save lives, walls end lives. Prosecutor argues for vigilante action, against Kyle Rittenhouse, mob had right to chase him. The next headlines are from UPI News. Missouri man wins big after using same lottery numbers for 5 years. Watch, 7-foot snake stows away on couple's boat in the Florida Keys. Penguin found 1,800 miles from home on New Zealand beach. Watch, mysterious metal box washes up on Florida beach. Watch, collection of more than 70,000 Darth Vader items moves to Texas. New Zealand woman held hostage by opossum. Watch, Idaho man makes 2,919 consecutive catches while juggling axes. Kitten rescued from vehicle's engine compartment in South Carolina. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Bride surprises blind groom by wearing a special tactile wedding dress. My mind was blown. Champing service rents out ancient UK churches to help pay for upkeep. See incredible transformation of paralyzed mice given nanofibers in 4-week study breakthrough. Woman falls down mountain, writes hilarious review for leggings giving them 5 stars. Students build solar-powered pop-up van for touring in a brilliant mobile home that has 0 emissions. The Good Guys calendar is a celebration of men and their good deeds. Hang it on your wall in 2022. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Monday, November 15th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. It's a free country. Man threatens SA agent's life, throws checkpoint stanchion, strips naked and masturbates, charges state. Family's pet dog that killed ducks and chickens turns out to be a fox. Arresting tale, police respond after woman held hostage by possum. Republicans saying Trump likely to be reinstated by year's end jumps to 28%. The overlooked masterpiece warning of a Cold War apocalypse. 3 dead, hundreds injured after storms rouse scorpions in Egypt. Cocaine haul worth almost €39 found in onion rings. A prolonged gun battle between rival gangs inside Ecuador's largest prison early Saturday left at least 68 inmates dead in the latest violence to hit the literal penitentiary, which recently saw the country's worst prison bloodbath. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. The edgy hype train is running out of steam. IBM achieves true quantum supremacy with most powerful computer ever built. Scientists are on the brink of unraveling the mysteries of the dark side of the moon. Tesla Model Y owner files formal complaint, the car by itself took control. Stablecoins could wreak havoc on the financial system. Babbel is the language learning gold standard, and right now, it's 40% off. This vinyl player is a gift any audiophile will freak over, and you'll love this pre-Black Friday sale price. Give YouTube the finger by restoring dislike counts with this plugin. Google Research, self-supervised learning is transforming medical imaging. All you need to know about Qualcomm's $219 dev kit for ARM-based apps on Windows. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Nascent polypeptides stabilize ribosomes for uninterrupted translation. Carbon dioxide cold traps on the moon are confirmed for the first time. Researchers discover new insights about tau proteins in people living with ALS. Researchers train computers to predict the next designer drugs. COVID patients on SSRI antidepressants are less likely to die, study finds. Ultra-large single crystal WS2 monolayer. This light-powered catalyst mimics photosynthesis. Common blood pressure drug does not slow down the progression of more advanced Alzheimer's, study finds. Researchers target a mouse's own cells, rather than using antibiotics, to treat pneumonia. A key brain region responds to faces similarly in infants and adults. The next headlines are from Information Week. ACIO's introduction to the metaverse. 3 components SEOs need to create an ethical AI framework. Data center TCO factors you cannot afford to overlook. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Monday, November 15th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA Administrator Statement on Russian Assad Test. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Bagley cartoon, hot potato. Kyle Whittingham will remain silent on injuries as Utah Oregon approaches. Biden signs $1 trillion infrastructure bill with bipartisan audience. Infrastructure bill could transform Utah transportation and help curb climate change. Rebecca Lawton, a community of river guides copes with loss. Bayou football coach Kalani Sitake deflects question regarding possible interest in open coaching jobs. 10% of Utah kids ages 5 to 11 have received a shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. Here's how officials want to save Utah's forests. Check out the Ice Bar Plus tailgate during the Salt City Best Fest. Sign up for a special Mormon Land podcast with religion reporter Peggy Fletcher Stack. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. NYC passes bill requiring bias audits of AI hiring tech. Microsoft adds 76 more games to the Xbox backward compatibility program. Russia may have just shot down its own satellite, creating a huge debris cloud. A plan to perfect the New York City street. Peloton sues rivals over alleged patent infringement related to on-demand classes. Microsoft surprises gamers with Halo Infinite multiplayer launch. Crypto nerds are trying to buy the U.S. Constitution. Portugal proposed law tries to sneak in biometric mass surveillance. Ohio's largest public pension sues Facebook, saying the media giant misled investors. Roblox, building out the metaverse, looks to bring educational video games to schools. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Poll finds St. Louisans still want retribution against NFL, Rams. 20-year-old man charged with killing his mother in Missouri. Man faces murder charges after woman's body found in a Collinsville home. St. Charles County fully launching body cameras for officers by December. Average positive COVID tests in Missouri have jumped by 30.8% in 3 weeks. Perunovich's NHL debut with Blues. Son gives Missouri mom a winning $100,000 scratchers ticket. Is it safe for kids to get the flu and COVID vaccines at the same time? This park has the most Native American petroglyphs in Missouri. La Niña isn't going anywhere. What does it mean for Missouri's winter weather? These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. San Diego Zoo river hippo with degenerative illness dies. Otis will be greatly missed. How to save amid record high gas price average in California. Group rallies against vaccine mandates for kids following court setback. Padres announce holiday pre-sale for 2022 single-game tickets. San Diego named most fun place to live in U.S., report says. Pedestrian killed in freeway crash. Driver in custody after pursuit through L.A., Ventura County ends with pit maneuver. IRS pushing up income brackets for inflation relief. Chihuahua adopted after 17 rounds of weekly chemotherapy. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. UAE orders more European multi-role tanker aircraft. French defense giant launches new 3D long-range air surveillance radar. Israeli-made suicide drone 2 blows up Russian T-90 tank. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. WTA calls for China to investigate Peng allegation. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Monday, November 15, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Costco recalls drink that may contain metal or glass. Amazon to pay California $500K as part of COVID lawsuit. Sheriff outraged over judge's ruling on Bay Area rapist. Trump sells D.C. hotel for $375 million. Happy birthday, Crone 4 turns 72. Hive updates, 6 teens taken to hospital after drive-by shooting at Nome Park in Aurora. Death of Chris Daughtry's daughter too premature to consider homicide, the says. Why you may want to think twice before mailing checks in USPS boxes. Video, limo driver arrested after doing donuts on Las Vegas Strip. Americans pile up nearly 30 pounds of extra trash per week during the holidays. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Woman who won freedom from prison in 2011 dies of COVID-19. England routs San Marino 10-0, qualifies for World Cup. Prosecutor, Rittenhouse provoked the bloodshed in Kenosha. DuPage County lags suburbs in vaccinating kids 5 to 11. Wakanda Park District buying marina to preserve public access to Bangs Lake. Chicago man charged with attempted murder of former girlfriend in Hoffman Estates. Prosecutor says Rittenhouse provoked bloodshed, defense says he feared for his life. Prosecutors, Safari Land shooting happened at child's birthday party. Biden signs $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill with bipartisan audience. It's a heartache, Woodfield Sears visitors shop for nostalgia on store's closing day. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle DIY School for Adults teaches crafts and confidence. Ballots for the Kshamasa and recall election begin mailing this week. Here's what voters should know. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.6 m, depth 10 km, in southern East Pacific rise November 15, 2021, 9:36 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6 m, depth 10 km, in South Indian Ocean November 15, 2021, 4:23 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil, Peru. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Italy. Drought is ongoing in Angola. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Monday, November 15th in the Greenwich Mean Time time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. What stands between the Taliban and recognition? The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Reese's reveals its largest peanut butter cup yet in time for Thanksgiving. Silver alert issued for missing 92-year-old last seen Sunday in West Houston. 6 teens hospitalized after shooting in a park near high school in Aurora, Colorado, police say. We'll have warm weather this week before the next front. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo calls for independent review into Astroworld tragedy. ABC 13 and Houston Chronicle 2 host town hall on Houston's rising crime Thursday night. Toontown at Disneyland to close until 2023 for new redesigning project. Woman in critical condition after stabbing attack and her son is in custody, deputies say. Get world famous, 7-layer fudge at San Francisco sweet spot Zishaya Gelato. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Chinese hockey team loses first trial game for Olympics in OT. In the pits, Action Express lifts curtain at Road Atlanta. Bennett running away with starting QB job for number 1 Georgia. Steelers DB Minka Fitzpatrick placed on COVID-19 list. Biden signs $1 trillion infrastructure deal with bipartisan crowd. Biden boosts crime-fighting efforts on Native American lands. Djokovic opens ATP Finals beating route. Settlement bans cold storage in California City by 2027. Packers plan to open stock offering Tuesday morning. Focus on Saleh, Ulbricht to adjust, fix Jets brutal D-Rose. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra extra, Britney Spears' Fank gets the weird profile of his dreams. City Hall's Thomas Jefferson statue will be relocated to New York Historical Society. De Blasio, he's still deciding on middle and high school admissions changes. Photos, New York City's autumnal glow peak this weekend. Teach Out launches state AG bid centering women's health and progressive support. MTA service cuts and fare hikes avoided, thanks to infrastructure bill. NYC says any adult can now get a COVID booster shot. Early edition, the armadillos are coming. State Senate Democrat warns of 5-alarm fire threatening voting rights. Succession Power Rankings, retired janitors of Idaho. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Growing digital divide threatens recovery from COVID-19. Inequity in funding, Africa's agripreneurs pay a high price for startup finance. Asian staffers at UN launch network to protect rights and fight racism. Glasgow summit ends amidst climate of disappointment. In post-quake Haiti, rebuilding lives and welcoming new ones. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Media blitz, surge in heart disease due to climate change, broken heart syndrome, pandemic anxiety. Hundreds of toxic chemicals are coursing through our tap water, new report says. How the U.S. hit an airstrike that killed dozens of civilians in Syria. U.S. cover-up of Syria massacre shows the danger of the Assange precedent. Revealed, documents show Bill Gates has given $319 million to media outlets. CDC admits crushing rights of naturally immune without proof they transmit the virus. Unvaccinated will have miserable, very lonely life, top Australian doc warns. Now the organized takedown of global fertilizer supply? The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Sesame Street debuts Ji Young, first Asian American Muppet. Does Michelle Pfeiffer have a wife? These Victorian-era cups kept men's mustaches clean. Did a 5-year-old girl disappear from her home every night? No, a Wayfair Doswell wardrobe doesn't match the name of a missing child. No, Bill Gates did not call for withdrawal of dangerous COVID-19 vaccines. Foreign students returning to U.S., but below pre-COVID levels. Japan's former princess leaves for U.S. with commoner husband. Is this Steve Martin with a puppy? Vermont Democratic Senator Patrick Leahy won't seek re-election. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Pregnant woman sent frantic texts to friend just before murder. Joe Biden doesn't have what it takes. Biden notches BFD bipartisan win, now comes the hard part. Teen who torched synagogue seeded about Jews in disturbing diary, feds say. Did Taylor Swift not hear about Miles Teller's anti-vax controversy? Cops could turn to machines to crack down on synthetic drugs. Steve Bannon turns to Trump impeachment lawyer he previously mocked on his podcast. Burroughs, early, Black Friday sale is the perfect excuse to upgrade your living room for the holidays. Howard University strikes deal after weeks of student sit-ins over unlivable dorms. Dangerous space junk forced astronauts on the space station to take cover. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Timberwolves fine $250,000 over workout at Alex Rodriguez's house. Ex-con who once tried to kill NYPD cop is freed without bail after another alleged attack on officer. Turpentine's desperate 911 call after fleeing family's horror house. Kristen Stewart developing gay ghost hunting reality show. Taylor Swift dating history, from Jake Gyllenhaal to Tom Hiddleston. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Snapshot Hubble spots a mysterious superbubble. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. 20 states report rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. Boosters for all, a look at some of the latest COVID-19 developments. Ancient stone etchings unearthed in Utah, Arizona. COP26 in Glasgow concludes with tentative agreement to curb emissions. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Experts report that about 82 alien species are in touch with Earth. Video. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Vermont's U.S. Senator Patrick Leahy will not seek re-election. NYC clears way for all adults to get COVID booster shots. We don't want anyone turned away. Zephyr Teachout announces run for New York Attorney General. Beto O'Rourke announces run for Texas governor in 2022. De Blasio administration apologizes for confusing rollout of new health plan for retired NYC workers. Biden signs $1 trillion infrastructure bill as Senator McConnell snubs White House ceremony. Steve Bannon, former Trump aide, appears in court on January 6 committee contempt charges. Biden to protect Native American heritage site in New Mexico, boost safety. Defense attorney in trial of Ahmaud Arbery's killers tries to have Reverend Jesse Jackson removed from courtroom. 6 teens injured after shooting in Aurora, Colorado, police. The following headlines are from military.com. Biden names pick for Pentagon watchdog, filling job that's been vacant for half a decade. Russia test blamed for space junk threatening space station. Unions seek bargaining rights for National Guard members. 500 Wisconsin Guard troops deployed ahead of Rittenhouse verdict. Biden may up Ukraine intelligence sharing. Airmen have more options to demonstrate fitness as service updates test. NATO chief wary of Russian military moves near Ukraine. Former Iran hostage buried in Kentucky Veterans Cemetery. Military jobs in intelligence, information technology fields have more earning power in civilian life, study finds. A complicated relationship, Biden and she prepare for meeting. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Chicago Police Union chief says he will leave department rather than continue disciplinary hearing he called a farce. Bond set for 4 of 6 accused of stealing nearly $15,000 in goods from Oak Brook Ulta store. Harvey mayor cites culture of corruption in launching search for 4th police chief since 2019. Grocery store owner and convenience store worker in Elgin indicted on charges they defrauded federal WIC program. Pritzker pushes out second member of troubled Illinois State Police Merit Board. Conservative radio host Michael Coolidge seeks to challenge Democratic U.S. Rep. Lauren Underwood. 3 Oak Lawn students face charges and threats to schools, police say. Dreadhead cowboy cannot call Lightfoot to testify in his defense, judge rules. Prosecutor argues Rittenhouse acted with no regard to life, urges jury to convict. No bail for teen after Chatham gunfight that wounded 2, including 1-year-old boy. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Board members feel their role is to support CEOs or fire them. Can startups be the vessel for solving climate change? Parent empowerment, not regulatory overreach, key to private school choice accountability, report argues. Understanding how pathogenic fungi build their carbohydrate armor. Who bought firearms during 2020 purchasing surge? How the secret world of soil microbes helps keep carbon in the ground. Russian test blamed for space junk threatening space station. Video, there's gold in seawater, can we extract it? Deplatforming Facebook COVID conspiracy theorists has not significantly reduced their influence, says research. Urban leopards of Korea's past could hold clues to species survival. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Monday, November 15th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. 6 brain-boosting foods you should have on your plate. CBD gummies reviews, everything you need to know. Almost 20 million years ago, sharks nearly went extinct, nobody knows why. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Red second baseman Jonathan India has been named National League Rookie of the Year. Staley, Chargers seeking more consistency on offense. Mariners announce their 2022 coaching staff. Deputy pleads not guilty in fatal shooting of Arkansas teen. Bridgewater sorry for not trying on season-defining play. Jury instructions put Rittenhouse judge back in spotlight. GOP Rep Mace's bill would federally decriminalize marijuana. Commitment to run has helped Eagles, Jalen Hurts improve. Bannon indictment defies history of Congress contempt power. Bears view longer completions by QB Justin Fields as a trend. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. 2019 Mar-a-Lago trespasser deported to China. Garth Brooks coming to San Jose for small club show in December. Warriors insist reunion with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn is just another game. Tensions flare at Arbery trial as Reverend Jackson visits. An extremely dangerous individual, Bay Area man sentenced to 45 to life for fatal Pinole wrong-way crash, defense calls it miscarriage of justice. Vote now, Bay Area News Group Girls Athlete of the Week. House GOP pushes federal pot decriminalization effort. Elizabeth Holmes trial, prosecution seeks to block positive patient reviews. Holmes says help her case. Steph Curry gets second player of the week honor in Warriors' young season. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Activists warn Democrats, full amnesty or expect election losses. White House skips introduction of key partner Kamala Harris at bill signing. Arkansas expands booster eligibility to age 18 and older. Inside the Beltway, Sean Spicer's advice for Republicans. Ryan Guillen, Texas Democrat, defects to GOP. Biden signs $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill into law, opening up funds for roads, ports. Defense attorney, Rittenhouse feared for his life in Kenosha. Idaho lawmakers meet to take on federal vaccine requirements. Most Americans say it's okay to correct others' words, study. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan announces steps to address anti-Asian hate crimes. The next headlines are from The Intercept. It's not just white people, Democrats are losing normal voters of all races. British wife of American ISIS fighter Russell Dennison dodges questions about union. Bernie Sanders could snuff out a potential primary contest to replace Patrick Leahy. Despite a botched execution and concerns over innocence, Oklahoma prepares to execute Julius Jones. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Monday, November 15th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Steve Bannon appears in court for defying January 6th panel. Kyle Rittenhouse provoked the bloodshed in Kenosha, prosecutor. Mayor won't have to testify at Dreadhead Cowboy trial. Controversial Chicago police union leader, facing possible dismissal, says he will quit the department and run for mayor. An Asian American Muppet finds her way to Sesame Street. Artists say women's suffrage mural is being blocked in South Loop because it's too political. New 10,000 square foot pot dispensary opens within 400 feet of Wrigley Field. College basketball top 25, Gonzaga stays on top, Illinois moves up, plus, my ballot. Bears coach Matt Norch gets honesty from NFL about officiating in Steelers game. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Monday, November 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Beto O'Rourke announces for Texas governor race. Immortal Axes showcases guitars to die for. The best and worst of the Houston Texans in 2021, so far. Things to do, see Incomparable Impressionism at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. Things to do, upcoming food and drink events in Houston this week. Review, Il Trovatore at Opera in the Heights. The next headlines are about world records making news. Fredericton curlers hope to set Guinness World Record by playing for 120 hours, CTV News Atlantic. Faculty member gets into Guinness World Records, University of Miami. 105-year-old Louisiana woman sets world record in 100-meter dash, southernliving.com. Airbus solar-powered aircraft successfully completes 18-day flight and sets world record, Daily Express. 2 Moroccans received Guinness World Records in October, Morocco World News. UAE Jiu-Jitsu Federation sets Guinness World Record for largest jiu-jitsu training session, Gulf Today. Alabama boy born 19 weeks early sets world record for most premature baby to survive, The Independent. World's smallest car stops in Fife during its epic trip from John O'Groats to Land's End, Dunfermline Press. Robbins crossover XRE claims world record in Turkey, Tunneling Journal. Vermont woman runs 95 marathons in 95 days, breaks world record, just felt like running, USA Today. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Hollywood's IATS votes to ratify its new contract, but controversy remains. Google has reportedly cancelled its never-announced foldable phone. Doctor Who celebrates the return of Jill Martin's fabulous fugitive doctor. Alex Jones loses Sandy Hook defamation lawsuits for refusing to do the bare minimum. Amazon finally released a Prime Video Mac app. A girl likely caught gonorrhea from swimming in a hot spring, doctors say. Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock's first trailer digs deep for nostalgia. Doctor Who made a mess of itself again, but this time with purpose. The Halo TV show's first teaser is all about the mystery of Master Chief. Whether Biden's employer vaccine mandate goes into effect will depend on a judicial lottery drawing. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mariatal in Namibia at 115.88 degrees Fahrenheit or 46.6 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Dome in Antarctica at minus 61.24 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 51.8 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Russia may have just shot down its own satellite, creating a huge debris cloud, updated. Amazon liable for crash because software micromanages delivery drivers, victim says. Surprise, Halo Infinite free multiplayer mode is available right now. Good deal, standing desks we like from Fully are on sale ahead of Black Friday. Dubious $56,000 Alzheimer's drug spurs largest Medicare price hike ever. Asus takes it back to 2019 with new GTX 1650 old laptop. AT&T refused to listen to anybody at Time Warner after buying it, ex-CEO says. Samsung ships Android 12 faster than ever, just a month after Google. DDR4 memory protections are broken wide open by new row hammer technique. Android 12, the Ars Technica review. The following headlines are from Raw Story. You made my skin crawl. Charlottesville trial goes off the rails as Nazis accuse one another of sociopathy. Wyoming GOP votes to disown Liz Cheney as a Republican for her criticism of Trump. Disheveled slob Steve Bannon is a sniveling little coward for blaming his lawyer, former Dem Senator. Nicole Wallace rattles off all the times Trump swore he would pass very big and bold infrastructure. MAGA rioter who echoed sovereign citizen talking points now says she's learned the error of her ways. Kyle Rittenhouse defense attorney rants against liar prosecutor during closing arguments. Personal goon squad, why a newly reported memo by a Trump loyalist is cause of considerable alarm for U.S. democracy. Is Mark Meadows next? January 6 committee plans to move very quickly on criminal charges. Michigan GOP lawmaker faces misdemeanor assault charges after he inappropriately touched nurse practitioner. Republicans now openly embrace violent fascism. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. President Joe Biden just signed the infrastructure bill into law. Beto for governor is a moonshot, but his party would be even worse off without him. Alex Jones loses fourth Sandy Hook defamation case. Steve Bannon just surrendered to the FBI. It's not the other America, it's just America. Biden administration plans massive auction of oil and gas leases. Bye-bye, Trump Hotel. Coming to a city near you, Students for Life's bus tour featuring live ultrasounds. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22, and like I need a 3-day weekend devoted to Taylor's version. Band-Aid on a bullet wound, Flint locals seed over $626 million water settlement. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Review, Eternals marks needed change for Marvel Studios, UNM Daily Lobo. Antarctic bacteria live on air and make their own water using hydrogen as fuel, The Conversation O. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Observation of others' actions during limb immobilization prevents the subsequent decay of motor performance, pnas.org. Scientists decipher the function of mysterious hotspots found in brain neurons, Market Research telecast. Black Hawk Growth's Mind Biotherapeutics advances microdosing clinical trial to 59 patients, The Newswire ca. Gastrointestinal disease treatments potentially improved by new discovery, Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology News. Drifting assemblies for persistent memory, neuron transitions and unsupervised compensation, pnas.org. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Monday, November 15, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Donut UFO photographed over Switzerland. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Monday, November 15, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.